Just don't go out there by yourself. You don't want to go in there alone. Not unless you really know the territory.
Any poisonous snakes around here?
Fuck it. I'm gonna go eat some mango.
What is it? Charlie?
Up front, you're under 60 degrees. Got it, man. Oh, shit. Come on. Fucking tiger!
Captain, come on!
What's happening? Yo! Let's go! Man! Keep you right. Never get out of the fucking boat!
Speed, bring that 60 forward!
What? Never get out of the boat! What? Get out of the boat! I gotta remember! Never get out of the boat!
Lean on the 60!
Never get out of the boat!
Down! What happened? How many is it?
Fucking tiger! What? Fucking tiger!
Tiger!
I've had the whole goddamn fucking shit, man! Didn't kiss my ass with a county quick cause I fucking bugging out! I think I'm here for this! I don't fucking need it, I didn't want it! I didn't get on the goddamn 8th grade for this kind of shit! All I want to do is fucking cook! I just want to learn to fucking cook, man! All right. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Never get out of the fucking boat. Never get out of the fucking boat. Hi, Tiger. Bye, Tiger. Goodbye.
Never get out of the boat. Absolutely goddamn right.
Anti-Afro Svengalis. Oh, people, I do want to talk about what you just saw. Because, indeed, this is about what Umar Johnson created, what he gave birth to. That is something we do not ever forget. Whatever you are seeing, Umar Johnson was the catalyst. He gave birth to it. I want to talk about this tiger scene and how it represents what Umar Johnson gave birth to. But before I do that, I want to let you hear one more thing. Stay tuned and I will return.
He hates all this. He hates it. I mean, what are they gonna say, man, when he's gone, huh? Because he dies. When it dies, man. When it dies, he dies. What are they gonna say about him? What are they gonna say? He was a kind man? He was a wise man? He had plans? He had wisdom? Bullshit, man! Am I gonna be the one that's gonna set them straight? Look at me, wrong. He hates all this. He hates it.
You're right. Umar Johnson hates this. He certainly does hate this. I'm going to explain what I mean. So let's take a step or two back. This Demon-Ette sector that has no clue about staying in your own lane. Now look here. Umar Johnson gave birth to this. Look at this photo here. Look at these titles. Take a moment, look very closely and carefully at all of these titles, and you think about the term staying in your lane and what it means. This is another element that Umar Johnson gave birth to. So let's take some more steps backwards to that scene. People can call it a movie all day long. What happened is reality. Reality, people. And if you just sidetrack for a second, many more people in countries where these wild animals live kill the wild animals than vice versa. Why? because they know their territory. They know what they're doing if it becomes necessary. And unfortunately, we have poachers out there. But I'm talking about in situations like these. You heard the sailor, because this is a Navy boat and you have an Army captain. So you heard the sailor wanting to go out to get these mangoes. If you want to see the entire scene, I posted the clip on the bottom. He's warned by the captain, Martin Sheen, you don't want to go out there on your own. Does the sailor listen? No. But it's not just about ignoring, refusing to heed these, very wise words. And I'm sure the captain could have pushed superior officer, but come on, who's going to push around on that? It's not about the sailor saying, F it, I want to go get mangoes. Did he have any other plan in mind about what he was going to do? Did he tell the captain, don't worry, captain, I got it? No, F it, I want to get mangoes. So there's your first problem. Do we see that around here? People not giving a damn, going in head first in situations. When you go in head first in a situation, what do you think is going to happen when you have no plan? So there you go, out there into the jungle. And of course, I cut out a lot of the film or scene because we'd be waiting for a moderate amount of time. But I want to tell you briefly how this sailor continued to demonstrate his inability to listen and heed warnings, and how it became quite close to his perilous detriment. He's out there in the jungle. He's not even paying attention. He's talking about his experiences as a chef and how he came to the Navy and stuff. He's not even paying attention. So you need the captain, obviously older, wiser, more experience, more knowledge, more sense, being on the P's and Q's for both of them. Sound familiar? He's astute, he's aware of the surroundings, he's being very careful. And this other person, the sailor, doesn't even know when danger has arrived. The captain knows danger is among them. And this fool's up here urinating in the jungle. Is that a wise thing to do? No. Anyway, he continues to talk after he realizes the captain sees something here is dangerous. And he keeps running his mouth. I said, Charlie, what in the hell? Do you see what I mean, people? Going in head first into situations, not staying in your lane. And what ended up happening, he needed someone else to rescue him. Not staying in your lane has an outcome that you saw when he got on that boat. He completely lost it. Unraveled. Oh, you saw him? Have we seen anything similar in these YouTube streets? People completely unraveling because they got into situations they had no idea what they were getting into. Now, there are some people who have learned their lessons, and there are other people who have not. But I maintain staying in your lane is highly advisable. If you do not, you are going to encounter just what you saw in that clip. It's going to get you one way or another. And Umar Johnson, who birthed this demon and Demon-Ette sector, he's not invested. But he can tell you he got out of his lane, and we've seen what Umar Johnson did when he got too far deep into situations. You had the same reaction that you saw on that boat. How many times have we seen people here in these YouTube streets have basically the same reaction when they were found to be out of their lane? They wouldn't listen. No way would they listen. Not only did they refuse to listen, they try to mess with people who very much know what their lanes are. and they were taken clean out of pocket socket, and they completely lost it. The same applies as we speak now. Some people aren't learning a lesson, but the important thing to keep in mind, don't follow these people over the edge. Because eventually there will be nobody around. There will not be a captain to save them. And let me also point this out. This dude couldn't even fire off any shots in the direction of the tiger. It took the captain to kill the tiger. People are so desperate to get what they want, they don't think about the process and the work that it takes to achieve the goal. They think going out into a jungle to get mangoes is important. More important than figuring out, hey, is this worth it? There are dangers out there. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm totally out of my lane. And Umar Johnson is king when it comes to being out of his lane, king to unraveling when things fall apart. And I can assure you, Umar Johnson does indeed hate this. This is a burden he never imagined he would have to carry, because these individuals who are doing just what this sailor did, getting involved with all this mess, don't know how to get themselves out of it, acting the fool, unraveling, and it's a mess, people. For those who saw Apocalypse Now, know this was not the only situation this sailor got himself into, had to get his behind cussed out many times for shit he was getting into he had no business doing. Umar Johnson knows this is falling on him because he gave birth to this. He gave birth to these demons and demonettes who have created these demon panels based on what Umar Johnson directed, what he wanted to see. But he never envisioned it would get to this point. These people don't care about Umar Johnson, but still, he's responsible in one respect for creating what we see today. The safest thing you can do is not replicate what you are seeing. Let Umar Johnson assume the ultimate responsibility for what occurred. What we're seeing now, none of it's positive. The influence that he's had, extremely destructive, and that matches with his intent. People keep saying no one's talking about Umar. Yes, we're talking about Umar. They are Umar Johnson. He gave birth to them. And if they didn't start out believing what Umar Johnson did, you have seen a lot of people jump the ship, right? The rats off the sinking ship, from one ship to another. They've hopped on another ship, and when that ship is going to sink, they're going to hop onto another one. None of what they are doing is positive. None. And it's even more profound to think about how Umar Johnson verbalizes his so-called expertise. Look at all this here, and brags about being an educator. So what did Umar Johnson do? He attracted the worst of the worst in the field of education to model his behaviors. What do you think of that? People come up here bragging about they're in education, and I have something to say about this. They don't care. They just wanted to get your attention so you would listen to them. But listen to them because they are replicating what Umar Johnson has done, bragging about being an educator, but look at the behavior the educators are engaged in. As an educator, would you surround yourself with the people that you have seen? They surround themselves with people who are like them. That's the thing you have to keep in mind. Umar Johnson, he's going to surround himself with people who are just like him, or people who can't seem to separate themselves from those who are extremely abusive and degrading in their treatment of them. We have seen Umar Johnson treat his so-called supporters like trash. And then we see people who are supposedly educated allowing themselves to be treated like trash. But what do? They turn around and they expect others to accept degrading, abusive treatment. And when they do not, they unravel, like that sailor in that boat. It's best that people who have like-minded tendencies and characteristics stay together. They try to venture out to recruit new people to come on board. Okay, if those people want to come on board, those people are going to have to acquiesce to that disposition. They are not going to be bringing in upstanding, good character, reputable people who are going to hang around at least. They may be there for a few minutes or a little bit of time until they see what's going on. But people with good character, people who are decent and respectable, don't hang around garbage like this. I don't care what your damn title is. You are trash if you follow Umar Johnson's model. And that is exactly what you are doing. And there have been severe consequences for people who get up here and brag about their title and their job and what happens. What they have said and what they have done online has been captured, and trust you me, it's being captured. It is going to come back, and it's going to be severe consequences. That is why wasting time talking about specific people who want you so desperately to say their names, they want to keep going on and on and on. They're not going to get that. If there is a line crossing statement, it's going to be captured. Maybe it will be highlighted on the Monstrosity series, but some people aren't going to be highlighted on the Monstrosity series because they're trying to build a channel. Nonetheless, if a comment is selected for highlight, trust you me, we will make sure the message is loud and clear like we always do. Stay in your lane. If you don't stay in your lane, it's a guarantee you are going to unravel like you saw that sailor in that movie. And you for sure are going to need somebody who's got credibility and reputation to rescue you. And trust you me, it will not be anybody here on YouTube. Don't forget who started this, who engendered it, who is the person who embodies the behavior you are seeing. It is Umar Johnson, all the way down to the title of educator that he continues to brag about in effort to draw you in. And when you get in, you see evil, you see treachery, you see backstabbing, you see people talking shit about each other, you see people talking about others who they claimed were their friends and they supported, but people, the vast majority of us were never fooled because we listen to what people say and what they do. Let people with like-minded character and reputation and disposition hang with each other. We are not getting involved. That is why they are kept away from this space, and they will continue to be kept away. This is why they get extremely angry when they are blocked from the space. They know they don't feel very good about themselves, and they want to be so badly around those who do have a healthy sense of self. But there are conditions by which you will be able to associate with us over here. And those people don't meet the standard. Don't forget, people, where this started and where it's going to fall. It's falling on Umar Johnson, and that's happening as we speak. I'm not getting into those details, but Umar Johnson knows exactly what is going on. Hence, you know the people who Umar Johnson has mentioned by name. who Umar Johnson has gone hard for. And no, it's not just the people you heard in those videotapes. There have been others Umar Johnson has come extremely hard for. He knows what we represent. All these other people, he's not bothering with any of these people. He could care less about you. He doesn't mention your names, even though you have given him money. Umar Johnson is worse off now. Umar has not progressed. No matter how many videos he posts, no matter how many times he says whatever he says, fact of the matter is there has been no progression. Now, people, one thing you must always maintain is adherence to what will keep you safe and secure. Buyer, beware.